Hey guys, Chef Jay-Z here, and today we're making homemade vegan ice cream. Alright, so we're gonna check out our ingredients here. We have coconut palm sugar, organic cocoa powder, we have cocoa powder Dutch process, I have cocoa butter, which is gonna be our fat. I do a little bit of roasted walnut oil. You can find this actually at Walmart, only for like $9. A little bit of vanilla extract. I like the non-alcoholic. You can use vanilla beans, etc. And then today, the special treat, of course, we have my own homemade almond milk, okay? So this is just a standard style. Soak your almonds overnight. I use raw whole organic almonds. You know, I'm doing about this many in the blender, filling the rest with water, straining through a nut bag, pretty standard. You can use your store-bought almond milk. Just remember, this is completely neutral. It's just almond milk. There's no sugar, there's no preservatives, no nothing. So this is just almonds blended in water, nothing else, okay? So that being said, if you're using a store-bought product, make sure you're accounting for the extra sugar, and we're gonna add a little less of that. Okay, so first and foremost, we're gonna start with 3 cups of our almond milk. So again, on the blender, you can just measure it that way. All right, so as you can see there, we're right about at 3 cups, excellent. All right, so then it's gonna be 1 cup of our cocoa butter. So again, you can go a little over. You can melt this if you prefer, but this is 16 ounces, so we want just about half that. So there's about a half cup. So we'll do about another half cup here. And again, this is cocoa butter. I use a cold pressed organic. You don't have to use the cocoa style. You can use the cocoa butter, but make sure this should be solid at room temperature, okay? If you don't do that, then your ice cream's not gonna get thick enough. It's just gonna be really liquidy. So yep, that looks good there. Okay, so then we do about, we're gonna start with a half cup of cocoa powder. This is the non-Dutch process style. And then also a half cup of the Dutch style. You can see the difference in color on these. Dutch style is going to be a lot darker, and the only difference being this one is processed with alkali, so it has much more of that rich, almost hot chocolatey flavor. This one, the non-processed, will be a little more mild. So look at the big difference in the two of those. You know, you can definitely tell. Okay, so then a half cup of the Dutch processed cocoa. We'll scrape this down and it's gonna get warm anyways. Okay, we'll just get the salt in there now. I just do a pinch. I like a little saltier, so maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon. So you can see just a pinch. I like a little more. I like salt and chocolate. Okay, then we're gonna do 1 cup of coconut sugar. This is again, just organic coconut palm. You can adjust this to your liking. I don't like my ice cream too sweet, so just a cup there. And then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Okay, that smells good. All right, and then this is optional. I do like to add this because I think it gives it a really nice kind of more nutty flavor. You can use coconut milk instead of the almond milk too if you have the tree nut allergy, but I usually do about 2 tablespoons of this. Gives it a little more fat, a little more creaminess, because again, your almond's gonna be a lot lighter than when you're making a non-vegan ice cream and making one that's heavy cream or milk based, okay? So now the next process is we're gonna blend all this up, and we're basically gonna blend it until it's just getting hot or warm. That way the cocoa butter will melt, okay? So this is gonna take 2 or 3 minutes. So start it on low, get all your flavors integrated. You can hear the cocoa butter grinding around in there. As soon as this gets smooth and there's no more chunks of cocoa butter, we're gonna taste it, and that's it. All right, let it rip. Okay. Oh yeah, see a little water vapor? Notice how it's nice and thick, okay? That's how it should look. Now, look at the consistency on it. It's a little on the thick side. That's exactly what we want. If it looks really thin, we might need a little more cocoa butter, but oh no, it's beautiful. Okay, so again, with my homemade almond milk, it's a little thicker than usual. So if you're buying store-bought almond milk, it might not give you the same effect. But again, I will share my almond milk recipe with you guys soon enough. Oh yeah, that's good. So it needs a little more sweet. We're gonna do about another half cup of coconut sugar. Just a touch. Gets a nice caramel flavor. But yep, now it's warm enough. You can see the consistency is really nice. All the cocoa butter has melted in with your, and again, it should be warm to the touch. Not extremely hot. You don't really need to cook it, but it's gotta be warm. So you can let that cocoa butter melt. Okay. See the consistency on that too? Little on the thick side. Not super thick though, okay? You have too much cocoa butter and you chill it, it's gonna get really hard. Perfect. Okay, so now our next step is I'm gonna pour it, we're gonna chill it. I like to do it overnight. You don't have to do it overnight. If you're in a rush, you can set it up in the freezer really quick, but again, look at the consistency on this. And you notice there, it's completely smooth. There's no chunks of cocoa butter in there. Doesn't look all funky. It's nice and smooth, like a thick hot chocolate. And that's kind of how it should taste. All right guys, so we're back here. We have our ice cream mix that's set up overnight. Now as you can see, this got real nice and hard. I mean, this is kind of like a pudding, so you're welcome to just eat it as is at this stage, or you could just freeze it. But like I said, I like when I mix it in the machine because it's gonna get way nicer. So we have a standard ice cream machine here. You can use the ones that do rock salt too. This is just, what's this? A classic, let's see, 2 quart. Yep, it's classic 2 quart. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here now. It's not gonna expand a whole lot more, but this bowl has been nice and frozen. So make sure, again, if you're using the ones with the rock salt, wanna make sure you get it nice and cold. So this one's really convenient. You know, you can pick these up for not too bad. I think these are like $100, something like that. Probably get one for cheaper. Okay, so get your, you can see the coldness coming off of there. So stack it in there. Beautiful. This is gonna expand a little bit. I like to keep the container that I had done my product in, so this is gonna go right in the freezer right after we get this in. Okay, so then put your top in there. Make sure that's in there nice. And we're gonna turn this bad boy on. And we're gonna turn for probably, since it's this cold and frothy, maybe 20 minutes, all right? So on this one, on this style, that's it, it's just that easy. You can hear the machine already kind of grinding against it, so it's gonna really get that airiness. So, like I said, put this in the freezer right now, because then when it gets time when we're done, it'll already be nice and chilled and ready to go, okay? So we're gonna pop this in the freezer. Oh yeah. Oh, again, nice and cold when our finished product is done. Okay, so let that set up. So as you can see, it's already spinning. It's already starting to get some air built in there, getting some of those clumps out. I mean, like I said before, you don't really have to do, you don't have to do this through the machine. You could just freeze it, but you get a lot better texture if you let it ride. So again, this is gonna fill our 2 quart machine right to the top. So I like to put a cover on this, like a towel, as such. Throw that over top. That'll keep any bugs or whatever getting in there. Yeah, so we'll give it about 15 minutes once it kind of froths up a little bit, nice and cold. And that's it. It's your last step. So once this is turned, bam, you got your beautiful homemade ice cream. So as you can see, oh man, our ice cream's all done. So here we are. Texture is fantastic.